What's going on, folks? It's Joey here, Dixie Doggers TV again. We're down here at Hickory Crossings, Bay Pen, plot days. Got a buddy of mine here, Mr. Justin Simmons. I met Justin, I don't know, it's been several years ago now. Met him at the Bay Pens through a mutual friend, and we've acquired a pretty good friendship through it all. I'm actually the better friend than he is. He tries, but I'm still, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, Justin, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
All right. My name's Justin. I'm originally from South Carolina. I moved to Georgia about 3 years ago. I've been into dogs ever since I was probably 4 or 5 years old, running beagles. You know, I just love dog hunting. I always have loved dog hunting, and it's a part of me.
A lot of guys got started with beagles.
Oh, yeah.
Joke, man. I mean, I guess it's a lot of grandpas, daddies, uncles.
Great grandpa, my uncle, and then my daddy's brothers. Mm-hmm. My daddy, he actually run beagles when he was younger.
Really?
Yep. That's pretty much how we.
Rabbit hunting with beagles?
Just rabbit hunting.
Okay, I mean, because there's some people that use beagles for hog dog and stuff. I personally never have used them, but I've seen a beagle that was. Jam up little dog. I've just never had one myself.
I deer dog too. I mean, I got some buddies in Carolina in the Low Country. We deer dog, and they got some. They got some 3/4 beagles and some bird dogs. Son, them things
deal out
go.
there in South Carolina.
Oh, it is.
I've seen so many videos and stuff, especially on the deer drives. Man, I'm talking about taking buckshot, 90-yard, 100-yard shots, 120-yard shots, and you're like, you know, when we was growing up, thinking buckshot, you're like 40, 50 yards.
50 yards, that's right.
These little cats, they come across there, they cut down on them too.
They do.
They don't play. I mean, you shoot till it don't move. But all right, you know what we're trying to do with what on our podcast and stuff. You know, like I said, we got our guys out there, Hog Dog Nation. They they do mostly the Bay Pen stuff, and they cover a multitude of things. We have generally been over hunting. You know, the hog dog hunting part of it, and I found out that most guys that here in the Bay Pens, they're hog hunters. You know, there's a lot of woods dogs here.
Oh yeah.
What got you, or who? We'll go with that. Who and what? Give us a scenario how you started with hog dogs.
The way I started with hog dogs is I worked with a guy, and he kept on and on. He's like, man, you need to come go hog hunting with me. It went on for a few months, and finally the season rolled around. I said, you know what, Bo? I said, you ready to go? He said, you go do what? I said, go hog hunting. I said, you've been on my butt for the past month wanting me to go with you. Mm-hmm. Well, I went with him, and we got on some little hogs, you know.
Yeah.
It's adrenaline rush. Well, then I got to looking on Facebook and all that. This is back when Facebook first come out. Yeah. And I started seeing all this stuff about Bay Pens. I was like, you know, I'm gonna go see what a Bay Pen's about. So I drove from South Carolina all the way to South Georgia, which took me like 5 hours.
What was the first Bay Pen?
That was Bull Creek Bay Pen.
Bull Creek.
Bull Creek.
Gotcha.
And we went down there, and it was an experience I never seen. People I've never met in my life was coming up, shaking hands. Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. Where you from? What's your name? You know, I'm such and such. I come all the way from Florida. I mean, it's a family.
That term Bay Pen family is real.
That is real.
I didn't really realize how true it was. First time I ever went to a Bay Pen was, man, I don't know, Reggie Little in Mississippi. And I mean, they ain't been able to have Bay Pens in Mississippi for years.
Yeah.
And so I went and I was like, I don't know. I said, this dog's just barking at a pig, you know. Like I said it in the last segment too. The more I watched it, I said, man, these dogs are working. They're not just barking, they're working. And then we took a woods dog, and I think we placed 4th. The very first time was like, man, you know, what it was, like where we live at during deer season, don't nobody hardly hog hunt at all. There's a few, you know, you can hunt it. It's not illegal.
We can hunt at night too.
You know what I'm saying?
But
you can do
it's just one of those. Like it's a respect thing.
Exactly. And we try to have mutual respect with deer hunters, coon hunters, fox hunters, rabbit hunters, everybody. I wish they would have the same mutual respect, which some of them do, but a lot of them don't. But man, I said, I don't know about this. And then when I came here, me and Joe, all of us, we loaded up. We came down here. 5-6 years ago now. It's been pretty wild. And like you said, I know the first time we came, it was kind of get to feel everybody out. They didn't know who we were. We came with a lot of dogs, and we had the terriers.
Oh yeah.
Most people had never seen the little terriers, you know, not the ones that we had had, and it was just a whole different experience. And then, like by the next season, man, it was like everybody kind of knew who we were. The following year, man, there ain't nobody out here that I could not call at any time, day or night, and say, hey, and I mean, even if they really don't know who I am, they just know my name or the dogs.
Oh yeah.
They do anything in the world. Anything in the world. Bay Pen is, like I said, that Bay Pen family term is for real.
Well, that's what got me. I mean, we went to that Bay Pen, me and my brother, and we watched it, and then we went to another Bay Pen not too long after that. It was dadgum. I can't think of the name of it now. But anyway, we went to it. It's right there in Guyton, Georgia, and we went to it, and that's when I took my girlfriend at the time. She's my wife now, and she got to watching, and she's like, I want to get into this.
Well, she likes it, don't she?
And I think that was the biggest mistake I made, was getting her into it. But
it's costly.
I'm glad she's into it, because after I got her into it, we went to Waycross to a hog hunting tournament. Something I never experienced, never even heard of. Just went down there, and man, you talking about it's just like the Bay Pen, but on a hog hunting tournament, you have to actually go catch him and bring him.
There you go.
And I met some people down there.
We have some, like, I ain't gonna say some of them are posted like it says tournament, but it's more of a competition hunt. You know, it's like you start on Wednesday or Thursday, and you hunt till Saturday.
That's what
but you don't have judges or nothing with you. It's all on the honor system, and then most of the time it all works out.
Well, they didn't have no judges, but I think they had to take pictures with a number or something, and
exactly,
they had to send it to them, and we done that, and then that's when I picked up my first set of dogs. I drove from Carolina
to Waco. What was your first set of dogs?
I picked up some from Florida Cracker Curs.
Old Cracker Curs. I got an old Cracker Cur dog I got from an old boy named Justin Simmons. Old Remy, she coming on now. She's gonna be something. Well, she's already proven herself out pretty good. We just ain't trying to preserve her a little bit. We're gonna try to get some pups and stuff off of her, keep that lineage going good. So.
Heck yeah.
So what have you, in the years that you've been doing this, as far as the hog hunting aspect, not the Bay Pen part, but on the hog hunt stuff, what have you seen change? Like really drastically changed? You know,
the hogs.
There you go.
The hogs and the way people are hunting.
This is not something that you're thinking at home that you're saying, man, I'm doing something wrong. I can't catch hogs. Something ain't right. My dogs ain't right. It's the hogs, I'm telling you. Your dogs, 90% of dogs, they have the ability to do it. You set them up for success. You know, 9 times out of 10 it's going to happen. But the hogs are evolving. So we went over this in a segment, I don't know, about a month and a half, about the hogs starting to evolve. And that's exactly what's happening.
It ain't the method. I mean, you can take and run open hounds. You can take and run silent dogs.
You can catch them with all of them.
You can catch them with any. You can even take them little terriers you're talking about and catch them.
That's right.
But it's that one hog that wants to stand there and fight instead of the ones that want to put their Nikes on and run.
Yep. And
we're having the same problem everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that all over the country. Everybody I've talked to, it's like that. You know, it went from, you know, you get on a hog, you'd hear, I know 10, 12 years ago, you'd hear guys like, man, that thing, we run it all night, couldn't stop it. You know, it just ran and ran and ran. And it was just one here and there. And now it's all of them running. Yeah. Well, now every now and then you get one that's going to stop and fight. And I mean, or take a bait, you know, however. They're evolved so much, it's like they're just like a dog, you know, I guess.
It is.
It's bred into them. They know to do a certain thing, and they're evolving.
Well, when I first started, all the hogs we caught, we would jump them. They might run 50, 100 yards. They would stop and fight.
Yep.
Or bay, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Now, if you jump one and he goes 100 yards, you better have something to stop him. Because if not, you're going to go to the next county. and I've seen it.
Like with, like we're running catch dogs, real rough stock,
Oh yeah.
Man, when I first started, you hardly ever heard of anybody. There was a few older guys. They had a running catch dog.
Just one.
Now we have running catch dogs.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what you got to have. You got to have stopping power.
You got to have it.
The nose, the trailing ability, and all that. Yeah, you got to have that. But now it's like you got to have the stamina. They got to stick there and run however far and stop that damn hog.
Oh yeah.
Before it gets out of the country.
Yeah, we had some. We caught a few months ago. We caught some, and they were little pigs. Biggest might have been 60 pounds, but they stopped. Yeah. And that was their problem. Yeah, if they hadn't have stopped, we would have probably went on to the next property.
To the next one, yeah. How big are properties y'all usually run? I mean,
it's anywhere. Well, in Georgia, where we hunt around here, they're anywhere from probably 500-600 acres. Now I go back to Carolina and hunt with some boys, and we hunt on a big deer club, and it's probably 15,000-20,000.
Thousands of acres. Yeah.
But
what kind of rules and regulations do y'all have to go by here as far as public land hunts and stuff like that, like WMAs, like management areas and stuff? Can y'all hunt them?
We can, but it's like a schedule.
I got you. They have certain hunts for those.
They're really not called WMA lands here. It's called core land, and the government owns it.
Yeah,
you have to go by a permit.
Yeah,
it's $15 permit.
So we don't have to buy the permit in Alabama. You can just go get the permit, but legally you can't run hogs on it. We're so restricted. If it's public land, you might as well forget going hunting. I mean, you can hunt the national forest, but you can't hunt the management area.
We can't hunt national forest here. We have to hunt WMA or the core land, which is the government land, and you have to buy your permit or whatever, and it's like $10-15 for a permit to hunt. And then when you hunt it, everything that comes off of it has to be dead.
Mm-hmm. See, everything in Alabama, regardless.
In Carolina's the same way. No matter what, if private land,
that's
or
us.
Government land, it's got to come off dead.
As soon as you catch it, upon capture, they change our rules and regulations every year or two. I mean, that book, you got the little guy that everybody looks at and said, well, it says this. Well, you better read it again this year, because a couple years ago it said you could have it, but it couldn't leave the property where it was caught.
Well, when I started,
now you can't leave where you caught it at.
When I started hog hunting in Carolina, after deer season went out, you had from time deer season went out to turkey season, and we done the respect thing. I know everybody's turkey hunting, so we would hunt till turkey season, and then after turkey season, we could hunt until deer season started. Well, now in Carolina, you got 2 weeks.
And during turkey season, so it's legal to hunt during turkey season. You can still hunt during turkey season.
At
night, during the day, or?
Well, on game land, you have to hunt during the day. There's no night hunting in Carolina.
Ours is only night hunting during turkey season, and you cannot hunt from 3 a.m. to sunset during the daytime in turkey season at all. You can't hunt during the day during turkey season, period.
But you can only hunt May 1st through August 31st at night.
Yeah.
So 90% of turkey season, 98%
it's
of it, you can't hunt at all.
Yeah, I think I got to hunt
May 2nd.
I got to hunt 1 year where we could hunt from deer season to turkey season, and then hunt after turkey season, and then they changed it, and they dropped it to 2 weeks. So they give you 2 weeks in, say, February or so, and then 2 weeks in March, and that's it.
It's pretty similar with ours. We hunt like after deer season goes out. Like you said, now we can hunt during deer season.
Well, we do it at night.
I think say every now and then we'll get on a hunt, which I know some guys, they religiously hunt 4 or 5 nights a week. But it's the respect deal.
It is.
We don't want to step on anybody's toes. We don't want to cause any issues. But then, like you said, when deer season's out, we're on them till turkey season.
Yep.
During turkey season, normally that's when we're trying to catch up with work so we can hunt after turkey season. And so, it's kind of the same deal. There's a lot of rules and regulations, and they change from state to state. And that's one of the biggest issues that I've seen is talking to people is, like, I know some guys that they're like, man, if you trap that hog on your property, as long as you leave it in that trap, they can't do nothing to you. No, not where we're at. Nope, that's illegal. as soon as you know it's trapped,
You
if
better
you
go
walk up
get
there
it.
and seen it, you better dispatch it. Now you said y'all were in Carolina, but now you're here in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the kind of land that you hunted in Carolina, what
It
kind
was
of terrain was it?
About the same as in Georgia. We
About
hunted
same
hardwood river bottoms and swamps. Over here it's hardwood creek bottoms, cow pastures.
I got you.
That's our biggest thing. These boys just got these cow pastures and got cows.
Yeah.
They are calling us, hey,
Come get them.
come get them, please.
There you go.
I got a buddy right now. We went and checked the property 2 weeks ago. Guy hadn't had cows on it for a while. Just got cows. Had cows a month. Hogs are coming in there already, and they're not big hogs. They're little hogs, but
Yeah, but it's still
they're still tearing everything up.
You get five shows. I mean, they do
Oh,
probably more damage than 2 big hogs, or just as much.
It's real bad over there.
On the hunting aspect of it, what style of dog do you use? Like, I mean, open, silent.
We run
running catch,
we run
stop,
silent
bait?
dogs. Mostly everything we run is rough. There's no. I got one female Catahoula I can run her.
They got to stop the hog.
She's a little open, but she's looking at him, and it's hot.
Well, I mean,
And
if
then
that dog can see it-
everything else that we run is silent and straight alligators
there you go.
because we have to stop them.
Sounds like our kind of stuff there. That's what I like. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like a good bay dog that knows how to work, that's smart and sensible, but
If you can get a hog to stop and
Well,
a dog can work it,
exactly.
that's the big problem.
that's the big problem we have is just getting the stop. The dogs know what to do, and they
It's
can
just
do
stopping
it.
the hog.
Where we're at, you'll be in flat country, I mean agriculture, and then literally go across the highway or be in the same damn property and then drop off a mountain.
Yeah.
And then it's just up, down, and that old hog, that bow hog, he gets down there, it comes up one side of the hill, and on the other side he gone.
We hunted the property
There you
in Carolina. It's game land, and you would go out through there, and it's woods. Then all of a sudden you got gullies. It's nothing but gully, and I say 15-foot drop gullies. And them old hogs, they get up in there and they go down and hit the mouth of the gully and run up in the gully.
We
And,
get a lot
and
of
what are
under-
you supposed to do?
Under bluffs, banks, like almost like caves, you know. Good friend of mine, Rodney Bell, his son, he's got a video, man. And that young guy, he went in the cave, and I mean, it was just big enough for him to crawl. He went in there and got that hog. And I'm talking about a good hog. I sat there thinking, I said, I've done a lot of stuff. And I ain't gonna say I'm the chicken shit or nothing like that, but I don't know. I might would have had to back up on that. That boy's, he's tough.
Well, we had
Rodney,
one.
you raised a good boy.
We had one. We caught him in a laurel thicket in the low country down there on PD Swamp. And we literally had to army crawl 75 yards to this hole. And when he come out, he done cut dogs up, made a bulldog run, and he come out, he was looking for us.
How many dogs y'all normally drop?
Six.
That's finished, okay.
Usually 6
Was it
dogs,
what
and
you-
that's counting the
I was
bulldogs.
going to say, is that you and say another guy that
Me and another
y'all's
guy,
group?
yeah.
Y'all's group. Y'all drop half dozen dogs. Okay, I mean that's about.
It's usually 5 bay dogs and a bulldog, just to have the bulldogs there for extra power.
Exactly.
Just to stop him.
power. There you go. And that's why we use the high terriers and Airedales and stuff. You know, I use bulldogs, all different types of bulldogs and different bloodlines and stuff for years, and just we started using them hides. You know, we bred them up, and which Clay Austin, Aaron Sinkle, Roger Wright, all those guys are responsible for the start of it. And I want to give credit where credit's due.
Oh yeah.
And they have turned out to be some phenomenal dogs. You've seen some of them. You haven't really got to hunt with
I
them.
ain't got to hunt with them yet, but I'm working on it.
You know what's up. We're gonna put one in your hands. You know. Well, so what's the worst case scenario hunt that you have? Because all of us have it. If you don't have it, it's coming. Sooner or later, you're gonna have that bad hunt, that bad hog. Stuff's gonna go wrong. Tell us a hunting story.
That was probably the second hunt I ever been on was a bad hunt. We had drove 4 hours to the daggone low country of Carolina to hunt Little PD Swamp, and it was flooded. It was 18 degrees. I mean, it was
Lord
cold.
mercy.
There was ice on the road. The river had done flooded out. There was ice on the road, and we get in there and it's cold, and we dumped the dogs on the power line, and we're hunting, and we probably hunted a good hour, just let the dogs do their business and, get stretched out. And we hunted, and we didn't get on nothing. So we decided to drive on up the power line. And we drive up through there, and we're looking for rootings and any kind of hog sign because we know the hogs is there. Mm-hmm. And we come across this one. It's a pretty good rooting. And to the left of us, there's a big laurel thicket. My buddy said, we're going to dump the dogs. I said, you sure? He said, yeah. He said, let me check this rooting, but we're going to dump the dogs. And we dump the dogs, and they make a break to that laurel thicket, and they go around to the right of it. And when they go around to the right of it, I'm like, dude, this hog's not here. He come through, he's gone. Well, the dogs make a 180 and come back and hit the left side of it. And when they hit the left side of it, it just goes to shit. They're barking. I'm like, yes, we got one. Well, we thought we had him caught right there on the edge of the thicket. No. He goes 100 yards in there. Boom. I'm like, oh, Lord. So we go off through this laurel thicket, and the first 10 yards we can walk. After that, we're belly crawling. And we get in there, and this hog, just judging him, we never put him on a scale, but we're going to say he was between 180 and 200 pounds. Had inch and a half, real.
That's an athlete.
Oh, just a good hog that knows how to use his blades.
That hurt.
And when we get to the dogs, we got one. He was a rough dog. He was a black mouth with some bird dog in him. He was kind of rough. He's cut from the top of his back down to his chest. He's got a gash in him. It's probably that long and that wide. And and another dog's in there with him. He's cut up. He done punctured the vest. He hit the vest 6 times and stuck the dog 3. We get in there and we got a green bulldog. I'm like, this bulldog better catch. So we cut the bulldog loose, and the bulldog runs in there. And this whole time we're thinking, we can't go nowhere. Well, after we cut the bulldog loose, the bulldog runs in and he just makes a hard right and keeps going. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be bad. Old big hog comes out and my buddy shoots him. Boom. Hog drops. He stands right back up. 44 mag now at 15 yards. He tries to shoot him again, the gun goes click.
Oh, hell.
He shoots again, the gun goes click. I'm reaching for my holster because I know what's the third time he pulls the trigger, the hog drops again and runs probably 40 yards. We get in there and we get to looking, and where this hog was, it was a cutout bank. So the hog could have just left.
Yeah.
No, he won't stand the fight. And when we got to the dogs, it was bad. Right. We didn't have no med kit on us, so we were trying to do everything. We're packing.
Same thing, we've all been there.
We're packing stuff in there, and we finally get all the dogs out, make sure there's no bleeding, nothing major. Thank God it was a skin cut. We put all the dogs up. We go back in there and get this hog. And when we pull this hog out, he's black as the ace of spades. He's got, like I say, 1.5 to 2 inch cutters on him. He's bowed up. That was probably one of the worst hunts. But we did come out with the hog, but we sacrificed the dogs. That's the only problem.
So, ultimately, you still accomplished what you
we accomplished, but I didn't want to be in that scenario with the dogs cut up. We don't got nothing to stop him. Exactly. If he wanted us, he was coming over the top of us because we were on our belly crawling in there.
Yeah.
And that's
a scary situation.
Oh yeah, that right there kind of made chills go up my spine.
That's right. All right, now tell us, because we all have that bad hunt. Some of us have more than one. But it's a memorable hunt that you're going to remember, and especially if it's the first one that's ever happened like that. We had the same deal, almost identical, but we wound up. We did not get the hog, and we lost 5 dogs. Horrible. I went 6 years and never even stapled a dog. I was the luckiest guy in the world. So, let's hear about the best hunts. Yeah.
I guess it was when I went and picked up my two cracker curs. I got them. I kept them 2 weeks, and a buddy of mine out of Carolina called me. He said, "Hey, I met him at a bay pen actually, and He said, "Hey, y'all hog hunt?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You got dogs?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, come on." Well, what you mean, come on? I was like, "Well, I got a place." And he called us. He said, "All right, we set up, meet us at this place at this time, and we're gonna hunt."
Mm-hmm.
For me, I know I had the dogs a few months. You know, I done my work. I just had got another Catahoula, and I had worked him a year and a half to get him going. And we took them down there, and it's a deer farm club, hunting club, and they grow soybeans and everything. So we went down there to that, and we were hunting, and we got on a big hog. And I guess the reason this is this was my first hog with my dogs.
Yep.
And I remember it like it was. We hit a pine thicket, and the dog struck out. I'm like, yes, we got this. I'm like, we fitting to stalk this hog. No. She went on through the pine thicket and hit a waist deep swamp. And it turned into a bad situation for a minute because my dogs are locked on this hog. We didn't know what it was. It looked like a big boar hog, but it was a big 250-pound sow. Mm-hmm. But they're locked on this, and she's got her head under the water. And my dogs, I'm like, we got to catch this hog. So we catch this hog, try to, and she slips and she breaks and goes. But we finally catch her on a little island, and you know we get the hog. And I guess that right there is one of the most memorable, exciting, best hunts I've been on because nothing happened, no dog got hurt, and it was my dogs that caught the hog.
And, I mean
and worked for me.
That you know that's that moment of significance. You're like, I got these dogs and these dogs done their job. I'm out here. I don't have my buddy with his dog or my pawpaw or whoever. You're like, I'm doing this on my own with my own dogs that I've got, and I got them started. And that to me, that's probably one of the main reasons I still do this. I mean, it's like to see a dog and the switch turn on.
Mm-hmm.
You take the pup, a teenage dog, what I call them, and they're just goofy running around. You know, they get serious for a minute, and then they're messing around. Then all of a sudden,
something
clicks. It's like it wakes up, and it's like I'm a dog and I can hunt. And, you know, that's one of the best parts of it for me. You know.
And what got me is when we took the dogs. I didn't take the 3 dogs.
Yeah.
And we caught the hog with 3 dogs, and that's what I mean. That right there just set it off. From then on out, I was hooked.
It was over with then.
Yeah, that's why I got 20. That's why I got 20 head of dogs now.
Go ahead and get some more chain spots ready or kennels, and go ahead and get some more collars for the garment, and go in debt and get good dog boxes and all the good equipment that you need.
So, I did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what it takes, you know. And I know guys that, you know, they hunt, but they don't invest in it the way and it's just me. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. I'm just talking about from my point of view. But if you're gonna put that much time and effort into a dog,
I'm buying.
You know,
I'm going to get what I need
exactly.
to get.
You need to make sure the dog's took care of itself as well as you are. All right, now that we've covered some on the hunting stuff, back to the bay pen deal. You know, I know Kim. She comes out here and she has business. She comes out and she's a vendor. Y'all are vendors at these events. How has that really helped, per se? You know, I mean, like, just through meeting people. I mean, I know there's the monetary things there. You make some money. But, I mean, it's like you're able to go to all of them more? Or?
Pretty much. We usually hit everyone in Georgia.
Yeah. How many bay pens are in Georgia right now that you know of?
There are 3 that's open right now.
That's open.
A
few years ago,
there was 5.
I was thinking, I thought it was 4 or 5.
1, 2, 3. There were 6. Excuse me. There were 6. Yep.
Okay.
There were 6.
Now, North Carolina, South Carolina, none of them, they don't have any bay pens, do they?
No, all that got shut down.
Yeah. What about? Do you know anything about Florida?
I think they have one in Florida, but it's on the reservation down there with the Seminoles, and it's invite only. You have to be real close with the tribe and all that.
I got you. Well, I'm just curious. Like I said, you know, I try to find out as much as I can anywhere I go. I know in Tennessee, there's I think it was last year or year before last and stuff. There was a couple of bays, but they're not advertised the way that some of the bigger bay pens, like Hickory Crossings, Upper Earls, East Texas Hog
Yeah,
Band,
they're not-
El
it's-
Loco.
Yeah, they're not advertising that one in Tennessee. It's more like it's not a actual. It's a bay pen, but it's not an actual competition bay.
Yeah.
It's more like a training
I got
facility.
you.
You come
Okay.
in there, you pay like $10 a dog, and you can work your dogs.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know. That's why I brought
That's
it
the
up.
one. I seen it on Facebook not too long ago. They posted one, and they strictly said it's for working dogs.
Mhm.
Do not bring anything that's rough, no catch dogs, nothing like that. We just want to have a good time and just work dogs.
Yeah.
And I can
I mean, that's
understand where they're coming
understandable,
from.
yeah. I mean, it's, they got there's a lot of red tape there. You got.
It is.
It can go bad real quick. Everything can get shut down in a hurry, and all it takes is one bad instant.
Well, that's like in Carolina. We used to have hog bayings there. We had the APAs and all that. Well, we done hog and bear baying.
Yeah.
All that was legal. Then they come into this stuff where they were hog dogging. It's where you take a bulldog in there and the quickest catch out
Yeah,
wins.
catching ties.
Well, they messed up in Sumter, and some folks come in there
That's
with
what
video
happened in
cameras,
That's what happened in Alabama.
and then they shut everything. There's no more live bear
Yeah.
being worked. There's no
Now
more
it's all-
hogs.
That's like like what we call a bee bay, is where like if it's a bay, you have a pig inside of a crate or a small cage.
It's in a kennel
or
or
in a kennel or something, and then they cannot make any contact.
no
At
contact.
all.
They just have to bark and
I know. I remember seeing it on. It's kind of fun. I'm from Alabama, and I remember seeing it. They had this hog running, and they were doing the catching ties, and there was somebody had snuck in. I think it wound up being on 60 Minutes. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. If any of you people out there, if you know, it's been many years ago, but it was on 60 Minutes, and it's like, it's Alabama. Come on now. You got Nick Saban, and we're gonna screw up something else.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
Tide. So, well, Justin, man, I tell you, I'm glad you come in here and sit down and talk with us.
I am too.
It's good to share your knowledge.
I appreciate it.
We'll, later on we'll get you back on here. We're probably gonna try to get him back on here before we leave for this weekend. We're gonna try to do more than just two of us sitting here talking. We might try to do a little group talk, maybe share a few more hunting stories and a little bit more knowledge. And these guys out here, man, they got a wealth of knowledge, and the women too. There's a lot of women out here, man.
yes,
I'm telling you, some of these ladies
that
out here,
surprised me. My first bay pen I went to, that surprised me.
yes.
At how many women
And
were actually
kids.
running dogs.
Women and kids, they're out there running the dogs. They participate. It's a good sport, man. Y'all people support it. If it's one of those deals where, you might have to research it a little bit and find out where your local one is at. You can hit Dixie Doggers. You can email us, DixieDoggers13@gmail.com. Hit us on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Holler at Justin, somebody,
Yeah, I'm on-
Nathan, Joe Deal, somebody. We'll point you in a direction, or holler at us, and you can just jump in line and follow us out here or something like that for the weekend. So, all right, we're gonna cut this segment off, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in, and we'll get back with y'all. Y'all have a good.
Appreciate it.